Imagine, you want to learn how to play basketball.
Okay, basketball.
Yeah, and you want to be the best player on the court. So you go to the store and you buy the most expensive basketball shoes.
Naturally.
Right. And you read this massive book about the history of the game. You memorize all the rules. You even memorize, like, the exact size and weight of the ball.
Wow. So you study for hundreds of hours.
Exactly.
You know every single rule by heart. You are a complete basketball expert.
Well, on paper.
Right, on paper. But then the big day arrives.
Yeah.
You step out of your bedroom and onto a real noisy basketball court.
It's loud.
It's so loud, the game starts immediately, players are running everywhere, and suddenly someone throws the heavy ball directly at your chest really fast.
Oh, no.
And you completely freeze. You do not catch the ball. It hits you right in the chest and knocks you down.
Yeah, that is a painful shock.
It really is.
Because, reading a book about a fast-moving game is completely different from actually standing on the court while the game is happening. Okay, let's unpack this. Why does this exact same freeze happen to language learners?
It's a great question.
I mean, why do bright, hardworking students spend years studying English? They can easily pass a really difficult advanced grammar test.
Right, they know all the rules.
Yeah. But then a native speaker walks up to them in a coffee shop and casually asks, "What you doing later?" And the student just freezes.
Their mind goes completely blank.
Exactly. The words hit them in the chest, just like that basketball.
Well, this reaction is actually a very normal biological response.
Really? Biological?
Yeah. When you freeze like that, you are experiencing the harsh collision between two different worlds. We call them classroom English and street English.
Ah, okay. Classroom versus street.
Right. Classroom English is perfectly organized, it's quiet, and it's slow. Street English is messy, loud, and incredibly fast.
That makes so much sense. And I want to say welcome to today's special deep dive. We are talking directly to you, the English learner.
We are so glad you're here.
Yes, we are. And because you are on this journey to master English, we are doing something very special today. We are going to speak at a comfortable, clear pace.
Exactly.
We are using simple words, but we are discussing deep adult concepts. We want you to fully understand every single idea we explore today.
And our mission today is very exciting. We are searching for the holy grail of language learning.
The Holy Grail, the ultimate, most valuable prize.
Right. We are looking for the big secret to help you finally escape something called the intermediate plateau.
Oh, that sounds frustrating. The intermediate plateau.
It is. It's that lonely place where you are definitely not a beginner anymore,
Right.
but you still cannot speak easily and naturally in the real world.
Well, our source material today holds the answer. We have excellent notes and transcripts from an English learning show.
It's a great source.
It really is. The show features a very relatable dialogue between two characters. Their names are David and Sophie.
Okay.
And David is a very frustrated English student. But his friend Sophie, well, she offers a surprising solution.
But to understand the solution, we first need to understand the sickness.
Right. What's wrong with David?
Let's look closely at his daily study routine. It will show us exactly why his brain is freezing when real people talk to him.
Poor David. I mean, he works a busy corporate job all day. He comes home very tired.
Yeah, standard adult life.
But he is a dedicated student. So he sits at his desk and studies English for 2 hours every single night.
Wow. 2 solid hours after a long workday is a huge amount of effort.
It's massive. He reads his heavy textbook. He finishes all of his grammar exercises perfectly, filling in every single blank. And right before he turns off the light to sleep, he forces his tired brain to memorize 20 brand new vocabulary words from a list.
That sounds exhausting.
It is. But the next day at the office, when his native-speaking coworkers talk to him near the coffee machine, the words just sound like noise. He still cannot understand them.
Well, Sophie listens to his routine, and she immediately identifies his specific trap. She uses a very visual phrase.
What does she say?
She tells David that he's stuck in the books.
Stuck in the books. Let's break that phrase down for you. If a vehicle is stuck in the mud, its wheels are spinning fast, right?
Right, spinning really fast.
But the car is not moving forward at all. It's just stuck.
Exactly. Being stuck in the books means you are trapped by the theory of a subject.
The theory.
Yeah. You are spending all your energy on grammar rules and spelling tests, but you are completely ignoring the practical reality.
Ah, I see.
You are ignoring the physical, messy way the language is actually used by living, breathing people.
You know, it makes me think about learning a physical skill. To me, being stuck in the books is like trying to learn how to dance by looking at footprints painted on the floor.
Oh, that's a great comparison.
Right. Like you look at the floor, you memorize exactly where the left foot goes and where the right foot goes, but you never actually listen to the music. So when a real song plays, your body has no idea how to move to the rhythm.
That is a fantastic way to picture it. You know the steps, but you cannot feel the music. David knows the grammar rules, but he cannot feel the rhythm of English.
But wait, I have to push back here.
Oh, sure. Go ahead.
Don't you have to learn the rules of the game before you can actually play it? I mean, you can't just jump into a complex dance without knowing where to put your feet, right?
That's a very fair point.
Don't we need the textbook first to build a foundation?
What's fascinating here is that rules do matter. You're absolutely right about needing a foundation.
Okay, good.
But look closely at David's life. He is only learning the rules.
Only the rules.
Right. He is memorizing lists of words every single night, but he is never putting away the book to actually try the dance.
Oh, I see.
Because he only uses his eyes to read, his ears are completely out of shape. He is preparing his brain for a silent, written test.
Not a noisy, real-life conversation.
Exactly.
And this brings us to a huge physical barrier for learners. The sources call it the wall of sound.
Yes, the wall of sound. This is perhaps the most important concept for an English learner to understand today.
So what is it exactly?
Well, to a beginner, natural spoken English does not sound like separate organized words. It sounds like one long, continuous noise.
Like a solid wall crashing into your ears.
Precisely.
But why does this happen? I mean, this wall of sound doesn't just happen because native speakers talk fast, does it?
No, it is not just about speed. It is about how our brains process information. When you read a textbook, your eyes see white, blank spaces between every single word.
Right. Clear spaces.
Because you study with your eyes, your brain begins to expect those spaces. Your brain thinks, okay, after every word, there will be a little pause.
I get it now. But when people talk, they don't actually leave spaces. Sound is just a continuous stream of air coming out of a person's mouth.
Exactly. There are no silent white spaces in audio. But your textbook trained your brain to listen for a silence that does not exist in the real world.
Wow.
So when the silent pause never comes, your brain panics. It cannot separate the words.
The sources give us some amazing examples of the mechanics of natural speech. Let's look at how words physically glue together.
Yes, let's look at that.
For example, the phrase, "What are you doing?" In a book, that is 4 clear words. What are you doing?
4 words.
But in the real world, native speakers squeeze them together. What are you becomes a completely new sound. What you doing later?
Exactly.
If your brain is desperately searching for the clear, separate word what, it will completely miss the messy, glued together word whatcha.
And this physical gluing of words is called linking. The sources highlight a great moment where Sophie asks David, "Is everything okay?"
A very common question.
But let's think about how her mouth actually moves. She does not stop her breath. She does not say, "Is everything okay?"
No, she connects the end of one word directly to the beginning of the next word.
Right.
She slides the soft S sound from the word is directly into the vowel E of the word everything. So it sounds like one long single word. Is everything okay?
Is everything okay? You literally glue the sounds together.
And beyond linking, the sources talk about the incredible power of tone. Tone is the musical pitch of your voice, right?
Yes. Whether your voice goes up high or drops down low.
And tone completely changes the emotional meaning of the words. Like if I look at you and say, "Is everything okay?" with a flat, straight voice.
You sound very cold.
Yeah. I sound like a robot. Or maybe a police officer asking a formal question.
But if you make your voice travel up high at the end of the question,
"Is everything okay?"
it suddenly sounds warm. It sounds like you are a gentle friend who really cares about me.
English speakers also use certain words just to add musical emphasis, to make a feeling hit harder.
Right. In the dialogue, David says, "I'm just frustrated."
He pushes his breath hard on the word just.
Exactly. He uses it to amplify his emotions.
Yeah.
He wants Sophie to hear how heavy his tiredness feels.
Here's where it gets really interesting. A tiny physical change.
Like gluing 2 words together.
Yeah, or raising the pitch of your voice at the end of a sentence. It completely changes the human emotion of the speaker. It changes the entire meaning.
It really does.
So if textbooks are actually training our brains the wrong way by showing us white spaces that don't exist, we need a totally different tool.
I do.
We need a tool that trains our ears. If textbooks can't teach this rhythm, how on earth do you train your brain to hear it?
This is exactly where Sophie gives David the big solution. This is the holy grail we talked about at the beginning.
Ah, the holy grail.
She tells him to close the grammar book. She tells him to stop memorizing lists of isolated words. Instead, she tells him to start listening to audio shows tailored specifically for learners.
Tailored for learners. That means the audio show is custom made for your level.
Right.
The speakers use real natural speed and they use real linking and tone, but they use simpler vocabulary.
Exactly. And Sophie tells David to listen during his daily commute while he is driving his car to work or riding the train.
Sophie explains that if he simply listens to interesting conversations every day, he will naturally pick up new phrases.
Pick up, yes.
Let's explore that phrasal verb. Pick up. It is a vital phrase for language learners to understand.
It really is. Think about the difference between studying and picking up. In a formal classroom, you study a word.
Right. Studying requires intense focus, memorization, and hard work.
But to pick up a piece of language means you learn it almost by accident. You absorb the word from your environment without feeling any stress at all.
The sources provide fantastic real-world examples of picking up a language. Imagine you love cooking.
Okay, cooking.
So you start watching a French baking show on television every evening. You do not have a notebook. You are not preparing for a quiz.
You're just watching people bake bread.
Exactly. But after a few weeks, you suddenly realize you know how to say butter, oven, and delicious in French.
Wow.
You picked up those words automatically just by being exposed to them.
Children are the ultimate masters of this. Think about kids who move to a new country and go to an international school.
Oh, yeah. They learn so fast.
They pick up local slang and funny jokes from their friends on the playground in just a few days. They never study the slang in a book.
They just hear their friends say it, and their young brains absorb the pattern.
It sounds like magic, doesn't it?
It does sound like magic. But what is actually happening in the brain? How can we learn without trying?
Well, it is not magic, it is biology. When you sit at a desk and stare at a grammar book for 2 hours, you are using your effort brain.
The effort brain.
Your working memory is carrying a heavy load. It is exhausting. That is why David feels so tired.
Makes sense.
But when you relax and listen to a fascinating audio show while you walk your dog, you activate your automatic brain.
Ah, the automatic brain.
Your brain is designed to recognize patterns. When you remove the stress, your subconscious mind automatically starts building a mental map of real English sounds.
Sophie calls this method a game changer. That is a very important vocabulary word for you to remember today. A game changer.
A game changer is a dramatic, powerful shift. It is a new idea or a new tool that is so effective, it completely changes the outcome of a situation.
It turns a miserable struggle into an easy success.
Let's use an adult example. Imagine you work in a very crowded, noisy office.
Oh, I know that feeling.
People are always talking loudly, and you cannot focus on your computer screen. You are stressed every day.
Right.
Then you buy a pair of high-quality, noise-canceling headphones. Suddenly, the office is quiet. You can focus perfectly.
Those headphones were a complete game changer for your career.
Exactly. Or perhaps you have been trying to get healthy for years, but you always quit going to the gym.
That's relatable.
Finally, you hire a friendly personal fitness coach. The coach guides you, encourages you, and plans your workouts. Suddenly, you are losing weight and feeling strong.
Hiring that coach was a game changer for your physical health.
So finding a great audio show in English is a game changer for your language skills.
Because you are no longer studying English like a dead subject in a laboratory. You are actually living in English.
Living in English. That is the perfect way to summarize it. And when you live in English through audio, you do not just learn new vocabulary words, you learn culture.
Oh, culture. That's big.
Listening to real, unscripted conversations teaches you invisible cultural behavior.
Let's expand on that cultural aspect. It is fascinating. In the dialogue, Sophie notices that David looks very sad and tired.
Yes.
But she does not say, "You look sad." She says, "You look a bit down."
A bit down. This phrase is a beautiful window into the psychology of English speakers. It is an example of understatement.
Understatement.
Understatement is a cultural habit where you describe a situation as being much smaller or less serious than it really is.
But why do English speakers do that? If I'm feeling completely miserable and depressed, why can't I just say, "I am miserable"?
Right.
Why hide my true feelings behind an understatement?
Because in many English-speaking cultures, emotion is negotiated. It is about protecting the comfort of the other person.
Protecting their comfort.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you walk into the office and announce, "I am completely miserable," that heavy emotion feels like a dark storm cloud entering the room.
It puts a massive amount of pressure on your coworker.
They might panic because they do not know how to fix your big, terrible problem.
Ah, I understand now. If I say I am miserable, my coworker might feel trapped. They might awkwardly say, "Oh, I am sorry," and quickly walk away to escape the pressure.
Exactly. But if you use an understatement, if you simply say, I'm a bit down today, or I'm a little bummed out,
The emotion feels much lighter, it is softer, it is safe.
the sources show exactly how this works in a real conversation. You could say, I'm feeling a bit down because I missed my train this morning.
Right.
And here's the secret. A bit down is actually a polite conversation starter. It is a gentle invitation.
An invitation.
By keeping your problem small, you give the listener an escape route. If they're too busy to talk, they can just say, sorry to hear that, and move on.
But usually because you did not scare them with a heavy burden, it leaves comfortable room for them to ask, "Oh no, what happened? Can I help?"
You invite them to care about you without forcing them.
That is incredibly sophisticated, and you can never, ever learn that gentle cultural psychology by reading a textbook. A dictionary will just tell you that down equals sad. It will not teach you how to negotiate human emotions at the coffee machine.
You are absolutely right. Books teach you the raw data. Audio shows teach you the human feeling.
We have explored so many deep concepts today. We want to leave you with some powerful encouragement for your own journey.
Yes, definitely.
At the end of the story, David finally realizes he needs to change his routine. He agrees to try Sophie's audio method. He takes a deep breath and says, maybe I should give it a shot.
Give it a shot. This is a wonderful, supportive English idiom.
What does it mean?
It means to try something completely new, especially when you feel a little nervous or uncertain about the result. It means taking action without the paralyzing fear of failing.
The sources provide excellent everyday examples of how to use this phrase. Imagine you have never been good at painting. You think you are a terrible artist.
Okay.
But you walk past a community art class and it looks fun. You decide to be brave. You say, I don't know if I can paint, but I'm going to join that class and give it a shot.
You have nothing to lose.
Exactly.
Or think about your career. Imagine your boss asks the team if anyone wants to lead a complex new project. You have never managed a project before.
You feel nervous.
But you decide to raise your hand anyway. You tell your boss, I've never done this, but I will give it a shot.
It even applies to small mechanical problems. If your car engine won't start, your neighbor might walk over and say, try turning the key while pressing the gas pedal at the same time.
Just give it a shot and see if the engine turns over.
It is a phrase that represents a brave, open attitude. And native speakers use some very fun, colorful variations of this phrase, too.
They do. Instead of a shot, you can say, give it a whirl. A whirl implies a spinning, playful motion.
Give it a whirl. I love how playful that sounds.
Or, if you listen to British or Australian English, you will frequently hear people say, give it a go.
Give it a shot. Give it a whirl. Give it a go. They all carry the same beautiful message. Step onto the court and try it.
Yes.
So here is our actionable advice directly to you, the learner. Stop trying to memorize the English language.
Stop exhausting your brain with endless lists.
Instead, think about a topic that you actually truly love. Are you obsessed with modern architecture? Do you love gardening?
Are you fascinated by space travel?
Find an audio show about that exact topic spoken in English.
If you listen to a natural conversation about a topic you already love, your automatic brain takes over.
You will pick up more real street-level English in 1 week of relaxed listening than you would in a whole month of stressing over a grammar workbook. So what does this all mean?
Well,
It means that escaping the intermediate plateau does not require more suffering. Mastering English does not have to be a painful, lonely struggle sitting at a desk with a heavy book.
no, it doesn't.
You can finally break through that confusing wall of sound by simply putting on your headphones, pressing play, and enjoying a good conversation.
You finally stop staring at the painted footprints on the floor, and you just start dancing to the music.
Exactly. You start dancing. And that leaves us with a final provocative thought for you to ponder today as you go about your routine.
Think about this.
We just learned that our automatic brain absorbs language so effortlessly when we replace stressful study with enjoyable listening.
Right.
So look at the rest of your life. What other difficult skills are you currently stubbornly studying right now when you really should just be out there playing?
Give it some thought.
Thanks for joining us. We will catch you on the next deep dive.